Yes, data goes from BPC to R3. That we call it as a retraction process, because
So, okay, so we means we can send data from BPC to R3 also.
yeah, that is correct. That is correct.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
So this is all about the landscape. Then the next. So you don't have questions other than that, right? We are good to go.
Sorry. Yeah, so, okay, so this is what from your side on planning, budgeting, and forecasting side, right?
No, actually, still, I need to explain what exactly this tool has to offer to achieve these functionalities. No,
No problem. You finish. Yeah, you finish it, and then I will have questions.
oh, sure, definitely. Then why
Yeah.
exactly are we going with this tool when we have so many other tools available in market? Say, for example, Oracle, Hyperion, and traditionally the planning it used to happen on the Excel templates very traditionally. They used to each company has even in one of my previous implementation they were using really heavy Excel templates. They used to get the data from the disparate source systems. They used to enter the figures, and they used to maintain these templates forever. But the problem with that is like it's the to do with the maintainability, because the data is coming from the disparate systems, and maintaining say for example, if they want to, if consider a scenario for big enterprise, until unless you have some centralized system in place, and if you want to apply the same implementation at different division, I mean, it's like you're reinventing the tool, right? You are reinventing the wheel, right?
Correct.
So, I mean, the having the templates and all other approach is not a viable and feasible solution. Whereas coming to this BPC,
Your voice is breaking. 1 second.
oh sure, probably.
Okay.
Is it good now?
Yeah, it is good now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's all about the reusability and having the some framework in place, so that with the best practices we can follow the same methodology again and again, so that the revamp period would be really less. If you compare with the typical IP planning implementation with the BPC planning implementation, I mean, the difference is a hell lot. I mean, you really implement the BPC just like that within 4 months of. If you ask me the core setup and configuration period to implement BPC implementation, it required from 4 to 6 months. There
Okay.
could be other different phases like requirement phase and post live implementation phase and support phase. That is different, but the typical implementation phase is just 4 to 6 months. When you see,
How many people?
it depends upon the how big is the project is all about. If you ask me for a refineries, it's really big player, because the SAP is
Mm.
heavily into this oil and energy sector, where you need to have at least a team of 6 members to do the same, because each one would have their defined roles, their specific roles defined. They would be doing their respective roles. You said
So
in your team,
in
sorry?
your current project, how many BPC consultants are involved?
Yeah, one typical project in one of my previous existing is uh, we were 6 members.
Okay, 6 member. Okay, okay.
How about yours? You said you have two BPC consultants, right?
Yes. So, so in our team, yeah, so in our team right now, there are two senior BPC consultants.
Mm-hmm.
Since one consultant was having a Cognos planning and budgeting, experience.
Mm-hmm.
So he said that whatever they have in Cognos, it is same in BPC.
Mm-hmm.
So there are two BPC consultants, and there are two junior, BPC consultants. Like they train to those guys. They
Okay.
have some sort of financial background, and they know some planning budgeting concepts. So in current project there are four BPC consultants and one charter accountant for core financial discussion with the business user and how to leverage them with the BPC.
Oh, I see.
So there are
Okay.
five consultants. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that is a typical figure everywhere because
Yeah.
uh, this tool is not all about IT development. It is business
Right.
centric. It's business centric. The ultimate at the end of the day, who is going to maintain the tool is nothing but it's not the IT people, it's the business people, the business users and business analysts. They would be using that because ultimately they are the people who would be doing the planning activities. Our job is to just set up the infrastructure, make the tool configurable according to their tailored requirements, and hand it over to them. And from there onwards, they are going to maintain the tool. They are going to build the input schedules. I mean, I know people who are really able to create really very good input schedules than the IT people because their lives lies with the this tool itself.
Correct.
And as I said, this is business centric. So the visibility for the senior management and for the business is more when you compare with the IT guy. Because after 6 months, the system is being maintained by this business management from the core client group, and
Mm-hmm.
having the visibility to the senior management, they would be able to see the what exactly the things are happening. If you see any other software development process, the senior management in the organization, they would not be having any visibility. They really don't know what exactly happening at the development side. But whereas in this case, it is not the scenario. And
Right.
the other features to discuss some of the other features, it's self service business process flows. As we already discussed, we can create some of the business process flows to cater to needs of these business guys, which is a guided and customized navigation system. Because during the planning and close operations, they would be doing n number of hell activities, which has to happen in sequence, and some of the activities are recurring, meaning they would be going one step ahead, and they'll have to once again come back if the things are not fine. Like a typical business analyst do some kind of planning. He sub he pro I mean, he submits the figures, and once the figures are get submitted, it would get reviewed by the senior people. Once during the review phase, if the figures are not good, then we'll have to adjust with some journal adjustments. If they have that
Mm-hmm.
design in place, if they don't want to have the journal figures, if they don't want to do the adjustment with journal figures, then they'll have to correct the source data. Because typically, what happens in journal figures, we we really not modifying the source. We are not modifying the source system. We are
Mm-hmm.
directly modifying the BPC application side. So
Correct.
the problem with this is during the reconciliation phase, the source figures would not be matching with the BPC figures.
BPC.
Yeah. So it depends on the approach, how exactly they want to carry out.
Mm-hmm.
And once that they submit and they planning gets approved, then these business guys, they will not be able to enter figures because the planning is
Mm-hmm.
frozen for that respective period. Okay, that we manipulate with this work status. And
Okay.
then coming to this top down and bottom up planning, say consider a typical scenario. You why don't we take the current existing problem with this automobile industry?